Norway is a country that gets relatively little media coverage. Even the elections this past week passed without much drama. And that's the Norwegian media in a nutshell. Not much drama. A few years back, Norway's public TV channel, NRK, decided to broadcast live coverage of a 7-hour train ride. 7 hours of simple footage, a train rolling down the tracks. Norwegians, more than 1 million of them, according to the ratings, loved it. A new kind of reality TV show was born, and it goes against all the rules of TV engagement. There is no storyline, no script, no drama, no climax, and it's called slow TV. For the past 2 months, Norwegians have been watching a cruise ship's journey up the coast, and there's a lot of fog on that coast. Executives at Norway's National Broadcasting Service are now considering broadcasting a night of knitting nationwide. On the surface, it sounds boring, because it is. But something about this TV experiment has gripped Norwegians. So we sent the Listening Post's Marcella Pizarro to Oslo to find out what it is. But first, a warning. Viewers may find some of the images in the following report disappointing.
It's a common value in contemporary television that it needs to be built on strong narrative.
Hey, Seattle PD, we're looking for a Stanley Larson.
Which means you need some kind of a conflict.
I'm telling everyone I'm not happy.
And you need some kind of a development to that conflict. Hopefully, you know, a climax that's really punchy, and then a resolution, and something that's clear and concise and engaging and has a kind of an arc to it.
Unless you're in Norway, where people are tuning in to watch a ferry ride that lasts all summer, minute by minute, second by second, broadcast live. This is slow TV in motion, a new television fad where, well, nothing much happens, really.
Open sea, nothing happens. Like this night, we had quite heavy fog for 3 hours. I think it's boring, but boring in a very nice way. But of course you see mountains, you see people waving, because this is live. People are coming in their boats, they are waving at us.
Filming a boat is not a great philosophical achievement, but it's, I think depth can be many things, and I think the gift of just sitting back and watching nature come at you and move past your window through your television, I think that has a relaxing effect.
Slow TV means a way of getting back to sort of the more calmness. You don't have the shouting that you have in a lot of other TV programs.
You can walk to and from the kitchen, you don't really miss anything. And well, it's there. The same thing's happening when you come back to the TV and take another look. It's just nature passing by most of the time.
It's there, it's even, you know, it's like water. It's like the weather, it's like the mountains, it just flows, it's just there.
Well, it is slow, and it's kind of weird, but there's something about it. Something about a break from the world that we live in today. The world of fast-breaking news, of accelerated information, of Facebook, of Twitter, of a media world gone silly. And even when we want to slow down, we can rarely think of television slowing down with us. Unless you're in Norway, where people gather around the TV set to wind down, as opposed to being wound up. And that not only begs the question about why it's happening, but why it's happening here.
Well, slow TV started as a crazy idea in our TV department in Bergen, when someone said, why don't we just put a camera on the front of a train and just transmit the whole journey. And everybody thought, wow, yeah, that's a crazy idea. Of course we can't do that, but we ended up doing it just to try. We thought originally that maybe this would be biggest as an interactive format, but then we suddenly discovered that people watched it the whole journey. Hundreds of thousands of people watched the journey from start to end.
I do not think they sat down with the postmodern analytical frame of mind saying, What can we do as a reaction to this frenetic culture that we're surrounded with? What can we give people? How can we give them peace of mind, Zen, meditation? It wasn't that at all. It's horrifyingly, painfully boring. I know it's beautiful, but this is absolutely nothing. This has no meaning, absolutely no meaning. There's this guy whose job, his grown-up job, is head of a department developing slow TV. That's his job. He goes to work in the morning thinking slow things.
Not so fast. For many, this man is pure genius. Thomas Hellum is one of the brains behind a trail of long-haul yet very popular TV snooze fests. There was the 18-hour-long broadcast of salmon swimming upstream. And then there was a 7-hour train ride, broadcast live. And let us not forget the riveting 30-hour-long interview. So Norway's public broadcaster may be at the avant-garde of weird and wonderful TV, but they also have a formula that keeps the ratings up while keeping the costs down.
This is very, very cheap if you count up the numbers of minutes produced TV, then it's very, very cheap. Like the snail, we have our house on our back. We eat on board, we sleep on board, and the time we are at work, we make television. We don't drive a big OB van from places to place. We don't use very much time on rigging up and down, but we use the time to produce actually hours of TV.
There's a lot of crews, a lot of time, a lot of man hours go into this that could have been spent on producing actual content, which is, of course, another debate that we have in Norway, because Denmark, Sweden are producing high-quality drama, and we want that as well.
But if slow TV is so wrong, then why do Norwegians feel it's so right? It's not the first time we see this kind of screensaver TV in action. There are channels in North America whose sole purpose is to show a log fire burn at Christmas. It's just that in Norway, they seem to have gone overboard. This year, NRK broadcast a 12-hour wood-burning session on primetime TV. 1 million viewers were gripped. That's 20% of the population.
Bonfires have something magical to it, and we discovered that when we transmitted the bonfire for 8 hours.
My daughters say that every time when they find me sitting in front of slow TV, they find it intolerable. It hurts their accelerated heads. But I pay no attention to them. I just keep on, floating with the boat.
I think the next idea is probably a whole night about knitting. So we'll see how that goes.
More Global Village Voices now on the uniquely Norwegian slow TV.
In many ways, slow TV goes against what is normally perceived as the success recipe for a television show, where things have to happen quickly. They have to happen all the time throughout the whole show. And that is obviously difficult when you're watching a salmon swimming up a river for 18 hours. There is only so much that can happen. But that's the thing as well that keep people glued to the television screen, as that you want to be there in case something happens.
What's slow TV's magical formula? What makes it so popular? We have a unique opportunity to watch ourselves on television. Norway is a very small country, 4 or 5 million people, and when the boat passes your particular village, you get to go out, wave to the camera, and get to watch yourself on TV. Also, traveling the boat that goes up the west coast can be tremendously expensive. Now you can watch it not only live on television, you can also watch it for free on webcam.